Good morning, everyone. So I'm sitting here looking and hoping that you've got a signal because it's showing I've got no internet here at the moment. But I'll assume we're going. Jane's just checking. And so what we're looking at here anyway is the position of Guy. So there's Cape Horn. He's about 1,200 miles away from Cape Horn, making about 4 knots today. And, making pretty good time, pretty relaxed weather. I was meant to do the Friday update for Guy, but I was so excited with what was going on with the tracker, knowing that Kirsten and Abhilash are playing off against each other, that I missed that. And I didn't really make it a prediction day either because I was just giving odds on for what was probably happening. And yesterday it was, eventuating that saying, maybe 65% Abhilash and 35% Kirsten, but she has a chance depending on the weather. And wow, wait until you see what's happened this morning. Abhilash's percentage rating is actually dropping. So anyway, and sadly, Puffin is drifting on her own, on a lonesome out there, not going very far, very fast. But anyway, all part of the fun. So now that I've told you all the good bits, there's not much more for me to say, but I'm just waiting for Jane to say whether it's happening with the signal. So a few people asked about all this stuff behind me here. That's just photos. We've got a couple of these boards up. I'm in the house at the moment, but we don't show people the house normally. It's our private stuff. But that's a photo board for about 5 years of fun and games and adventures all over the place. I might show it through one day. I'll run the camera along and show you the pictures. Anyway, that's all that is. And back to the tracker and let me get up here. Boom. Yes, I'm on it now. So leaderboard. Leaderboard is saying that Kirsten's actually gained a little bit even here on the technical side of things. She's currently got 1,633 nautical miles to the finish, suggesting a finishing of about 30th of April. But in real terms, if they get the speed up, that's only a week and a half. So that's only... not far away. So there could be, around a little bit earlier, but let's wait and see. I doubt it. I'm still saying the last day or days of April for an ETA. And Abhilash got 1,714 nautical miles to go. So, sort of 80 odd miles difference there. Was it 70? Yeah, 80 miles. So yesterday she was down to 60. So she's picked out about 20 miles during the day. And that's a good thing for her. And Abhilash is sailing well and sailing hard and so on. Gug is 2,833 nautical miles to go. So not too bad. Showing 12th of May, holding his own there. That date hasn't changed much at all. And in the Chichester class, Simon on 1,528 nautical miles, Jeremy 3,785, and Ian's still drifting there. So not a lot going on with his boat. One thing I should say, in fact, I'll got to go back here for that because I want to had some interesting discussions with people regarding the way I report. Some people are suggesting that I'm favouring Kirsten on my reports. Some people have, in the past, they certainly didn't complain when I was appearing to favour Abhilash because he's in the lead a week ago, and I say, no, Abhilash is going there. I got to tell you, I don't favour anyone when I'm giving the reports. I'm just reporting the statistics on what's happening on the tracker, and there's all the ups and downs, and the reality is that the potential for a winner is still up in the air and undecided, and it's still really close. So yes, I really admire Kirsten, and yes, I really admire Abhilash. And yes, if Kirsten wins the GGR, it'll be world news. It'll go around the world like that, bang, because it's the first time a woman has ever won a solo around the world yacht race. So that's huge. And if Abhilash wins, it'll be a great story, and the Indians will go nuts. And he's recovered from 2018, but rest assured, I don't alter my reporting. Some people thought I must have got a rocket up me from the Kirsten side of the Kirsten camp because I was favouring Abhilash last week or whatever, and it's just not that way at all. But the interesting thing is that some fans thought that I was not doing Kirsten well sometimes. So when both sides are complaining over time, and I'm not saying anyone from Kirsten or Abhilash is really getting up me, but I'm certainly getting some interesting communications on that issue. So yes, I really like Kirsten. She's great. So do a lot of people around the world. And Abhilash and I are great mates. We have a great laugh and all those sorts of things. And I admire everything about what he's doing. So they're both with me. And just to throw the next one in the line, I think Simon is sailing amazingly well, right? A great racing sailor, all the things that I've said in the past, but he's in Chichester class. He's not in the GGR race. So I don't refer to him often as being part of the race. He's sailing home, the same as Arnaud is sailing home. He's not in the race anymore. He's out of it. He's not even in Chichester class. But it's one of those things where I've got to be fair and equitable, and I report on how well Simon is sailing, and he's sailing like he's on fire. Quite impressive. So, but he's not in the race. He's just sailing back to Les Sables d'Olonne. He's still in the event, same as Jeremy, and we look forward to seeing him when they get here. So it's all a lot of fun. Anyway, now I've got that out of the way. I'll get back to the tracker, and we'll get down here. I'll get rid of that one. We've spoken about Puffin, we've had a few people talking about salvage on Puffin. Shouldn't be picked up and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, that's up to others, but there might be some rumblings in the background there. Jeremy is currently doing 6.4 knots, and he's done 130 nautical miles in the day. It's amazing to look at the trade winds here. They're pretty soft and not what they're usually doing. All right. You can see here that's partly because here's South Africa. The South Atlantic high is sort of distorted here, and it's actually up high. So but it's very weak. So there's no real power to the trades, and Jeremy's just about running out of breeze there. He's still making 6.4, so that's pretty good, but you can see it's only not very wide at all. Normally the trades are booming from here down, so part of the challenge for Jeremy. Anyway, we'll see what he's got going forward, and that's not right. I didn't pull it back from previously. So that's why he's doing pretty well now, and it is a bit thicker, but it's going to go light, as you could see there. So if I come forward a day, this is tomorrow. Boom, it's going light, but he'll be up here by then. So he'll probably be holding those 5-6 knot speeds. So that's pretty cool. And then on the next day, that's 48 hours out, it is going light again. So he'll slow down. He may be doing 5 knots or something, but he's still got to get up here. He's still got 3-4 days, but it's the doldrums have really, look at that. There is no doldrums there. This is the 18th. Okay, let's see how long that holds. 19th, jeepers, the doldrums have disappeared. And the 19th, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's... They ask you to share the screen. Share the screen? Hey, I forgot to share the screen. Boom, boom. Okay, sorry, you're getting bored looking at me. All right. Okay, so I'll come back here. Too many other distractions on my mind at the moment. But anyway, I'll just bring you back and quickly go over that again. There's Jeremy today's weather. You heard the audio before. We come forward a day, the next day. So here we go. The next day, he's still sailing. He's in this breeze, so that's okay. He's still got the speed on. And then on the 18th, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, 3 days, he's still sailing. But here's the interesting part. The breeze up here is still holding right through the doldrums. So when I pull it through to the 19th, the breeze has got thicker. It's as if the trade winds have been pushed up. There is no doldrums there. So that's good news for Jeremy if he can get up there in time. And I'll just work that out in a minute. I'll see how long they hold. So even on the 20th, there's a bit of breeze there. So he loses on the 22nd. You've got to get up there by the 21st. So that's 6 days. 6 days at 120 a day. It's about 700 miles, something like that. Where's he going to be? 4. Oh, boy. He may get lucky if he can hold his speed. He's going to be right there as it starts to turn, maybe. Okay. That's on the equator. If he can get up the equator in 7 days, he might get lucky with this. Yep, it's still holding. Jeremy could do well out of that. And then there's a big hole. That's on the 24th, but he'll be through that. So, yep, there's still breeze there. So he may be very lucky. That's interesting to see. So the doldrums aren't doing what they're supposed to do, but it may work in his favour. So that's good. Okay, so what's Captain Goog up to? 5.5, boring trade winds, some people would say, but it's going really well. He's not complaining. 70 nautical mile days, that's healthy. And it's not too strong, but he'll still be bouncing around. So if we push that through, the reason I do a quick jump on the trade winds is because we're not expecting anything really to change. There it is. That's a day later. The wind direction hasn't changed, so Goog's still sailing at that. You'll still maintain the 5 knots or more. That's the first day. Second day, on the 17th, same again. Not much change. There is a little bit of a change in the gradient here. It's a bit steeper here, not a lot, but it's starting to get a little bit of the easterly swing in it. So that may help his course. It won't change his speed. He'll be sailing the same way relative to the sea and the wind, but the wind direction's changed, so he can head a little bit further north, maybe. 15, 16, 17, and 18, same again. So he's well and truly trade wind sailing. Looks quite strong there. Okay, so now we come to the 3 at the front of the fleet, and look what's going on here. This is very interesting indeed. First, as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh, Kirsten's turned too early. She's going to lose the breeze. Maybe, but maybe not. She's just on the edge of it. Now, I have absolutely no idea what Abhilash is up to right now. 6.4 knots for Kirsten, 134 nautical miles in the day. She's obviously changed course based on the wind direction. Remember, you sort of stick your arm into the wind, face with your arm out, and face wherever you're looking at, dead ahead is the center of the high. So she's assuming that the high is moving away from her, which it is. It's over here. So it's time to turn, but she doesn't know about this trough here. So she's running the risk of turning too quick, and rather than coming up into here, get solidly in it and go, will she be becalmed? So anyway, Simon's doing 6 knots. So Kirsten's doing 6.4, doing a bit better, but Simon's heading up even higher. And again, they're sailing blind, but they're watching the wind direction. They don't want the northern side of the high pressure to go away from them. So they're turned. And I have, as I said, what is Abhilash doing? I have absolutely no idea. I don't know why he'd be doing that. And because his barometer, as he's going up, it should remain pretty steady. So for some reason, he's gone up on port tack when he would normally be heading up here with the wind behind him. Whether there was something happening here with light winds that frightened him, and he might have been thinking that he was getting too close to the center, so he better get away from it or not. But either way, it's not a smart decision when you're going to Les Sables d'Olonne. You can see, and he hasn't got weather reporting, so I'm not criticizing Abhilash. I'm just saying this is the reality. This is where he's going, right? He's sailing 90 degrees away from the course. He knows that. So the only thing he's working on is the weather. So he must be thinking that the high is doing other things. So this is going to play into Kirsten's hands absolutely perfectly, because it gives her a chance. Because on the leaderboard, she's showing as a 60-mile lead, but on the course, they are now neck and neck, and Kirsten's actually also in the front on the course, because you could draw a line between here on this angle, and you can see Kirsten, which is sort of the angle to get up in this direction, which is generally on the course where you're going, right? And Abhilash is now falling behind Kirsten on the course. So Kirsten is actually leading on the course and leading on the leaderboard. So kind of interesting. But what's going to happen next? So it's all about the weather. I'm going to leave it. I'll take it up one more notch and see what that looks like. Yep, that's fair enough. I'll put them down there. So it's all about hanging into the breeze. And you can see there, Kirsten's right on the cusp of no wind, very light, but it must be stronger than it's showing, because she's doing 6.4 knots. That's not bad. She's probably got a spinnaker up and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. So that's encouraging. And I'm going to click it through and count the hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nothing's changed for Kirsten. Her wind gradient has stayed pretty much exactly the same. And if anything, she's got a little bit more there. So 10 hours later, she's going to be, I'll go 12 hours, which will be 72 miles. Is that right? Yeah, something like that. So 72 miles later, she's going to be, that's 120. She'll be up on a par where Simon is right now. So that's 100. So she's still going to be, even on that course, she'll hold a relative position to this gradient. So as long as this graphic of the wind is correct, she'll still be sailing. It's very, very dangerous, though, for us looking, because this thing is no wind. And is it in the right position, and where's that going? So, and Abhilash, if you look what's going on there, he's got heaps of wind. So that's 10 hours from now. He's going to turn again. He has to turn again. I can't imagine he's going to keep going out there. We'll check for tweets. I'm sure everything's fine on board. Maybe Oh, well, I've got no idea. I have no answer for why he's going out there. But he should turn by that stage, because that's 30 knots there. Gusting 38 or something like that. Maybe 28, gusting 35, 36, slightly higher seas. Let's have a look at the seas. I don't think the current's pushing him out there, that's for sure. Let's have a look at the currents. Nope, head current, so that's pretty straightforward. Simon's getting pushed sideways. Kirsten's getting nothing. And waves, we've got... you can see, I mean, Abhilash is getting into some heavy stuff at that stage. Not real heavy, but, bigger than over here. Kirsten's got about 1 metre, 1.5. Simon's got maybe 1.5, 2, picking up there. So all very interesting, exciting for the race, per se. And whilst the GGR is an adventure, it's a race. So let's carry on with the weather here to work out what's going to happen. That was 12 hours, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so good news for Kirsten. This breeze line is holding. It seems to be holding there. So the lack of wind is behind her. She was going to be up here at 12. So at 24 hours out, she's going to be up here somewhere, and she's still running along the edge of it. She will certainly know from her barograph or barometer that if she's going too far right, it's dropping off. And that means she's got to go left. Right. So, and by this time you can see Abhilash has absolutely turned. He's coming up here. So he still may be, well, anyway, let's wait and see. It's really neck and neck right now. So that's 24 hours out. I'm dragging this out, but it's the weekend, and you want to see what's developing. I'm going to go right the way through to the next day. Now, this is interesting because it's starting to go light through here now. We'll take it out to 24 hours. Or this will be 48 hours now. There's 48 hours, and this is where Abhilash may come back with it, because he's going to have a bit more breeze there. So 48 hours, it'll be at least 220 miles. So let's see where Kirsten is. Simon will be a little bit ahead of Kirsten, of course, doing the same thing, but he's not in the race. He's sailing home, but he's sailing really fast home, and he'll probably be the first boat into Les Sables d'Olonne. So that'll be fun. Anyway, there's 220. Okay, so that's probably about where they'll be, where Kirsten will be, maybe somewhere in here. So it's getting light. It's on the beam. Abhilash will be up here somewhere on the beam, so it's 2 days out, but Kirsten will have made a break then, if who knows. So that's interesting. And then what's going to happen? Get rid of my guitar playing friend. He's got a busking license. It's okay. So clicking along, we'll go through to day 3. Well, that's good. That's good news. The reason that's good news is because Kirsten didn't run out of breeze here. I was thinking maybe it'd open up and she'd get stalled, but they're not. They're all in the same pattern then. So Abhilash will be in the same as Kirsten. Kirsten will be up here. Abhilash will be over here. It's a beam reach, neck and neck. They'll both be going for it. But technically, Kirsten will be closer to Les Sables d'Olonne. So, okay, going along here. What's happening then? Okay, they're going to start to get light stuff, and Abhilash is going to go light before Kirsten, because the light stuff is coming in from the west. So Kirsten will keep sailing a bit, but where will they be when it starts? This is another Azores high coming over the Azores, which is interesting. Let's go back here. It comes here. Yep, this is where it's getting very light and fluffy. So this is on the 18th, 15, 16, 17, 18, 3 days out. Still not good news for Abhilash. A little bit better news for Kirsten, because she's going to hold the breeze as well, but it's getting very hard to call three days out. Okay, so 3 days out is starting to get too difficult for me to give a solid prediction. So what I'm going to do now is we'll just follow the weather pattern and imagine where they might be and watch the big picture to see what could unfold after 3 days. But certainly 3 days out, they are both absolutely side by side on the course in terms of, what's going to happen with sailing. Now what's happening is, if Abhilash is out to the west, he may get a kick. Kirsten may go behind a bit, but generally speaking, they're both on the same weather flow. Okay, so they're both in the same weather patterns, which means they're both in the hunt. And then this is interesting where that goes. Hopefully it keeps going northeast, and that'll play out in here quite tricky. There's still winners and losers potentially in here, and I don't know who that may be, but when you got these holes and ridges there, but generally it's not looking too bad. No, it's going to get challenging on the other side. Still coming out of there. There's going to be some real challenges here. You know, these calms again. Who's going to be in them? Who's going to be out of them? But it's still blowing up. You know, in generally the right course. So let's go for a prediction now. Not on a position. So that's the 23rd. 55, 6, 7, 8 days. So that's about over 1,000 miles from where they are now, just to give an approximate position where they'll be on the course. Yeah. So 8 days from now, they're going to be right up here, and both of them, you know, Abhilash is going to be up here. Simon might be ahead and parked here and going nowhere, and then Kirsten and Abhilash will catch up to Simon, and then jeepers, it's all getting too exciting. So that's probably enough. But if I had to, I said I'd give a prediction. I forgot to give it yesterday. Right now, I got to tell you, it's 50-50. Kirsten is absolutely in the hunt. Abhilash has the only advantage he's got in any following or beam wins. His advantage is that he's got his secret sail, and believe me, it's real. And probably can keep up with Kirsten. Going to windward, he's got an advantage. Wind behind him, I would say both boats are neck and neck. So, and there's not a lot of windward work showing up in the next 10 days. So, going to be fun. Anyway, that's about it for today. So, questions and answers on YouTube. Got a heap of them there. So, I might do it in the next hour or so. So, if you've got a question, stick it on YouTube. I'll quickly go through the posts here and answer some quick questions here. If it hadn't broken, Simon would have won by several days. So what? That doesn't mean a thing, but you're right. It broke. And Grant Henderson, this is exciting. I agree. Will, morning, Don. Greetings from Herb Hershey Novi. Thomas Napoli, no worries. Listen, this will become a nail-biting finish. It already is. It's fantastic. Derek, his wind vane broke. He had to go hundreds of miles off course, dock for days, leading, but in Chichester class, not to the main due to him docking. Yeah, that's right. I mean, Simon's sailing so well, it's crazy. But I've got to say, Kirsten's keeping up with him at the moment. And so, but yeah, he's doing well. It is a race. It's tricky all the way back. The low track is delicate. Absolutely right. It's nerve-wracking because if Kirsten had been just a little bit further to the left, which side do they go of the Azores? Well, they're not. They're actually sailing the weather. They don't worry about going the Azores. They can go any side on the course, doesn't matter. But they're all looking at their barometers or barographs and going for it. And the interesting one, remember, Kirsten said she is getting weatherfax signals. Simon doesn't have a weatherfax that's receiving very well. His whole radio system failed, sort of thing. And Abhilash didn't even fit a weatherfax. So once again, Kirsten having a well-installed weatherfax may pay big dividends here, and that may be why she's actually run down the edge of that wind gradient, because she knows where the highs and lows are, and that comes down to good planning and preparation. So on the three boats on the screen at the moment, it could be said that Simon's misfortune was part of planning. He decided not to carry a complete spare wind vane. Abhilash is doing funny things with the weather. He decided not to fit a weatherfax, and there is a good weatherfax signal there at the moment. Kirsten, she's done a lot. Touch wood. It's never over to the fat lady sings, but that's the reality. Which side do they go? There's always okay. It's getting so tight now. Congratulations, you're all great sailors. Yep, no problem. Thanks, Tatiana. Derek, hydrographic office is stopping printing, but third-party printers will still be. Yeah, that's right. You'll always get paper charts. Doesn't matter. Okay. Good morning, Cape Town. So awesome this race sure is. Maybe he's saving his soul going the other way. What's wrong? No. Jane's telling me something's going wrong. I thought both had turned too early, but the system ahead of us are tracking. Yeah, I got a feeling that the only reason I would, well, that's not right. I'm guessing. Kirsten's getting weather maps for sure. She said so on her SoundCloud the other day when we were chatting, but it was a weak signal, but she's now got closer to the transmission point, which means her signal is probably stronger and she's in the area of reporting. So maybe she's getting the maps. Go Simon, absolutely. Like he stole it. Yep. The track it back already. Sorry, I paused to save the internet. Oh, that's Jane putting something up there. Classic, no tracker screen. Sorry about that. Morning, Pioneer UK Armchair Sailor. Good morning. No more questions, I don't think. I know my face is pretty ugly. The chart's a lot better. Change the screen, please. We did. Okay. Okay. Hi, Jane. Simon is just the most incredible sailor. Absolutely. Absolutely mind-boggling. Good evening, all from Adelaide. Hi, Don. All okay. You're coming in the clear, California. Good, good. Okay. Normally I don't go this long, but it's the weekend, so we can waffle on. All right, that's it. So we'll see you tomorrow, and I'll do the questions probably in the next hour or so. See you later.